Hey guys, Fat Preacher Man here, doing yet another commentary from Resident Evil 6, and this is part 6, and this is going to be part 6a. Decided to trim them down to about 10 minutes each to make them more digestible for you. Alright, let's get started, and here we are finishing up in this lovely room of confusion. There's Helena, which is me, and the apostleboy is back now. We'll get ready to go through the door. First thing I want to talk about, had a great weekend. Skins were victorious, and Dallas lost. I couldn't ask for anything more, except if they would happen to be in the same game. Dallas lost to the Ravens, which was pretty cool in of itself. I'm a Skins fan, but I'm based in Maryland, so I don't mind the boys in Baltimore, the boys in purple winning also. But them beating Dallas was just great, and the Skins winning, and RG3 was doing a pretty good job. So that was pretty cool.
Wait, I remember this place. Deborah must be close.
And you'll find out more about what all this is, who that is, who's Deborah. There's no, they like to drag out answers.
Please be okay.
Obviously somebody close to her. Me and Benji me and apostleboy were trying to figure out who it was. But you'll find out soon enough. I'm not a great big football fan, but I do have my favorite team, and they are the Skins. So I'm always glad to see Dallas lose. I've actually heard people say there is no rivalry between them, and I don't understand that concept. To me, Dallas was always the enemy. The Cowboys always the enemy of the Redskins, the Indians. So it just always seemed to work out that way. And Dallas has always sucked, so it just worked out that way too. And it's good to see, my boys trying to come back and do something instead of just taking defeat to defeat. The other thing I'd like to talk about today, see if I can fill up some of this time, is my favorite conspiracy theories. And my family knows some of these pretty well. And actually, I had met somebody on YouTube that had a name that was one of my theories. It's not really my theory. I'm pretty sure somebody else came up with it, but I either heard of it or whatever. But it's about Courtney Love and Kurt Cobain, and how she teamed up with Dave Grohl to murder him and make it look like a suicide. And I know some of you who know who that is, that he was the headliner for Nirvana, and Courtney Love is from Hole, which is where she belongs. But anyway, some of you might be saying, why would she do such a thing? She was in love with him. No, she's an egomaniac. She's psychotic. Her issues are too numerous for me to list. And David Grohl is, of course, just an attention whore. So they couldn't handle the fact that everything was about, Nirvana was really just about Kurt and his music and his style. And David just couldn't handle being on the drums anymore. And we see what happened to him in the Foo Fighters. He wanted to be the front man. And Courtney just couldn't handle that the marriage was about. This is gross. Look at that sink, man. I'm sorry I interrupted myself, but that's disgusting. But there's the emblem. So you kind of need to do it. Get used to those little creepy mirrors. Anyway, so that's my thing. I think that they set him up, they murdered him, and made it look like a suicide for various reasons. Another one of mine, and that I've shared this before, and I've actually seen other people talking about it, is the gas conspiracy. That Bush and his cronies hiked up the gas to not only make as much money, but make us more dependent, and just get as much money as soon as possible. Because being in the government, they realized that there would come an end to dependency on gasoline, and then the oil company would take a big hit from that. So Bush and his family, Bush and his cronies, wanted as much money from it as possible, as soon as possible. Which is why you see the gas prices rose during his tenure in office. And I've talked about that one before. The other one I wanted to talk about was the flu vaccine, and how I believe that's a conspiracy for the government to try to implant and track us, to try to make us traceable, to get something in us, whether it's microelectronics, whether it's some type of chemical or mixture or compound. They want it in our bloodstream, they want it in our bodies so they can track us. make us weaker, more dependent upon the government. And so I won't get the flu vaccine. I'd rather suffer through the flu. And I mean, in my area, they offer the flu vaccine for free. You don't think it's kind of strange? Pharmacies, pharmaceutical companies, they want to make money. So they're not going to give something like that out for free. And isn't it amazing how quickly the vaccine came out when there was supposedly an epidemic brewing to get people stirred up and afraid, so they thought they had to get the vaccine. And now, it's everywhere. In my area, you can go to, any drugstore. You can go to almost a couple supermarkets. I'm surprised they just don't have it out in the corner, handing out like flyers. Get your free vaccine with a bottle of water. Every time I turn around, somebody's offering the flu vaccine, and it's just a little too convenient, if you ask me. Oh, here's a good cutscene. This one is interesting. It gives you a little backstory and a little gross out. But
what the hell is all this?
None of these were here 3 days ago.
See Leon and Helena. Of course, they take their time, build up the suspense. But it's what they find that makes the cutscene worthwhile, worth watching. In case you can't read it, it says "Happy Birthday, Ada." And of course, if you played any Resident Evil 4 or you've been playing through this, you'll know who Ada Wong is. And this will help you understand why she can do what she can do. So, yep, she's a chrysalis baby. All gross and disgusting. So, the last conspiracy I'd like to go over for today is traveling to the moon. Yes, it's a load of malarkey. We've not been to the moon. We've not stepped foot on the moon. We have not sent anything to the moon. It's garbage. It's malarkey. It was a way to pacify humanity, to focus humanity on something. And once they started down that path, it was too hard to get off of it. It's like, lying to your girlfriend about where you were the other night. Once you start that lie, you can't stop it. It becomes so entangled, and you're either going to break free and tell the truth and face the consequences, or you're going to keep lying to cover your tracks. Well, the government has kept lying to cover its tracks for so long that they had to start killing off astronauts, which is why they blew up a couple of the shuttles. Like when they first sent that teacher up, they killed her because they realized that she would see something that would help alert her to the truth, the fallacy of space travel. So they killed her. They blew up the shuttle and sacrificed all those other astronauts who had already swore to lie, who had already swore to uphold the government secrets. But she was a civilian and would not cooperate, so they had to kill her. And the same thing goes for any of the other astronauts where they were afraid would break their code of silence. They killed them. So, those are my 4 favorite conspiracy theories. And if you have any comments on those, any ideas on those, or if you have any conspiracy theories that you have floating around your noggin that you'd love to share, I'd love to get a video response. I'd love to hear about your favorite team and how they're standing. I think Falcons are the only undefeated team in the NFL right now, which is pretty cool. I'm not a Falcons fan, but, hey, we lost to them, so we didn't do too shabby against them. But they're hanging tough. So whatever and if you're into games like that, I'm not into Madden myself. I don't see the point of buying this football game every year. It makes no sense to me. It's ridiculous. And I don't really like the football games anyway. I'd rather watch it on TV or play the game in real life than sit there and play an imaginary version of it. It doesn't make any sense to me. I like playing games like this where I know I'm not going to be running around with a shotgun shooting zombies. I'm not going to be fighting the undead, so I like to imagine myself in that world. Fallout, where I can be a character and develop them.